let's get started. We have a pretty packed presentation here about using LinkedIn to get clients. Let me maximize the presentation right now. Okay, here we go. So just a brief background about why we're doing this. So as freelance job websites are growing more and more competitive, other areas for getting hired are often ignored. So you can find jobs on social networks like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. While these will not be your primary sources of clients, even though a lot of freelancers have been hired through these sites. So your main source of clients will usually be Upwork or Freelancer or onlinejobs.ph. These other sites, these LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, you can still get clients there, but they're not going to be your primary focus. Okay, just making sure. Oh, by the way, if you have any questions, feel free to ask anytime in the chat room. Just type your question in, and I'll answer it as soon as possible. Anyhow, the purpose of these sites, like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, is not to provide freelance work. So your approach will be a bit different. Today we're going to focus more on LinkedIn, and out of all the social networks, it's the one that is most probably focused and most relevant to finding jobs. Okay, so what is LinkedIn, first of all? Well, LinkedIn is a business and employment-oriented social networking service that operates via websites. So it's like Facebook. It's like Facebook for the professional or working world. And just like you have a feed in Facebook, you also have a feed in LinkedIn. This is a screenshot of my LinkedIn feed. So there are stories, people can post status updates and things like that, but it's more in the more professional side. I'm just looking at the poll I asked earlier. Are you using LinkedIn? If you haven't answered it, you can answer the poll. It should be under the screen. We have one person, we only had 4 people answer the poll. One person hasn't created a profile, 2 have profiles that they never use, and 1 of you have successfully got clients from LinkedIn. So Glenn, was it you who got clients from LinkedIn, I think? Oh, just recently. Good to hear. Wow. Good work. So there are a couple of people who have gotten clients, and Glenn is I guess, living proof that you can get clients from LinkedIn. Anyhow, moving on, LinkedIn is mainly used for 4 things right now. First of all, it's used for adding your business or professional contacts to your network. So in the business world or in the professional world, networking is very important. So LinkedIn will help you see who's networked with who, and you can ask for introductions if you want to be introduced to somebody, and so on. Okay, the second way that LinkedIn is used is for finding people to hire. And this is very useful for HR reps. This is very useful for clients that are hiring, because LinkedIn is like a very large directory of different resumes. They have thousands of different people that they can hire, unlike, and this is especially useful for more professional positions where they can't just make a job posting and have people apply. This is good for managerial positions or finding positions that are outside people's usual circle of influence. So like if your client wants to hire a VA or a company wants to hire a VA, they probably don't know anybody, don't know any VAs, so they can look on LinkedIn for VAs or virtual assistants. Okay, the third way that LinkedIn is being used is for finding businesses or professionals in similar fields. So you guys are, well, I'm assuming you guys are familiar with Facebook groups, right? Because we have our Facebook groups for the Pinoys working from home and the Insider Club members. So you should be familiar with Facebook groups. And for LinkedIn groups, sometimes it's hard for business owners to find others they can relate to and share information with. And that's when the groups come in. That's when groups are important. Some companies and professionals are moving more towards Facebook groups compared to LinkedIn groups now, but there are still a lot of active LinkedIn groups. Just take note though that oh, so more people, as I said, more people are moving to Facebook groups. So you also may want to take note of that and keep an eye on Facebook groups where your clients may be in. Okay. The fourth way that LinkedIn is being used is finding companies and professionals to do business with. So this is when like business to business companies or companies would try to sell their services to other businesses or other professionals. So you can use your network as as a connection to others. So for example, I pulled up a profile of this guy called Mike O'Brien here. This is his name. And you can see, let me turn on my laser pointer so that you can see it more clearly. Laser pointer here. Okay, so you can see Mike O'Brien, and you can see here we're not connected. We're not friends on LinkedIn, or in LinkedIn it's your network. So instead of friends, so instead of your friends, it's your network. So he's like second degree network. And what that means is I am not directly connected to Mike, but because I know Joshua Vermillion, Joshua Vermillion knows Mike. So if I wanted an introduction to Mike O'Brien, let's say I wanted to do business with his company. He's the CEO of some company here. I forgot the name, but he's the CEO of a certain company. If I wanted to do business with him, I could ask Joshua Vermillion for an introduction. And you can see here, ask for an introduction. That's not gonna be our main focus in this discussion, but just showing you that this is possible in LinkedIn, and it's being used a lot in LinkedIn. Take note though that people don't like being sold to. That's very important. And if you try to sell people on LinkedIn, they can report you as being a spammer. And if they report you, you could get banned from LinkedIn if they can prove that you spammed them. So I highly discourage sending messages to like prospects and clients which are unsolicited. So yeah, don't, as much as possible, don't sell on LinkedIn to people you don't know, or don't directly sell. But there are a lot of things that you can still do to get clients on LinkedIn. You don't have to sell to clients. Remember, one of the main reasons people use LinkedIn is to hire people, to hire employees, to hire contractors, to hire freelancers. So your main goal with LinkedIn is to be found and not to actually pitch to clients. Let me just look at the poll again. I'm going to scroll here. And yeah, Glenn seems to be the only person so far that's been hired on LinkedIn.